the CFMOTO 800 MT. Join me on today's video on my commute to work to talk about the CFMOTO in the last 2 years and 18,000 miles I've done on it now. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad, and some of it the ugly. So let's start with, why did I get this bike over anything else? At the time I didn't really have a choice. So back in 2023 I had a crash on my Yamaha Tracer 900 GT, which led me to be on the hunt for a new bike. And the one thing stopped me from getting pretty much any other bike was insurance. And that's the thing with insurance companies. Even if the crash isn't your fault, it still gets put on your record as a crash. So in a short space of time, I had a few crashes that weren't my fault, from a driver being in the wrong lane, driving into the side of me, no claim made either way. But I notified my insurance because I didn't want him to make a claim against me. So yeah, the only reason I really had to get this bike is because I couldn't get insured on anything else. And with this bike being the new model at the time, there was obviously no crash history and how much it would be to repair the bike. And I think that's why it was so low, because I was getting quoted absolutely silly money for even an MT-07 just to get me to and from work. MT-07, they wanted like well over £5,000. MT-09, well over 7,000 or 8,000. And some bikes I couldn't even get insurance quotes on, which blew my mind a little bit, since my crash history isn't the best, it isn't the worst. Especially when you're not at fault. You know, if I'd had 5 crashes in 5 years that are all my fault, then yeah, the premium should be high. But when it's not your fault, it shouldn't go against you, I don't think, but it has. So yeah, 2 years I've had this bike now. I've had some ups, had some downs, like I said. So we'll start with the good stuff. When I first brought it from the bike sanctuary in Hanslope, which, side note, is now closed, it was cheap. So brand new, out the door, £9,000, which I thought was great. That's really good money for a brand new bike. Warranty. It came with all the panniers on the back, metal boxes, quick shifter up, quick shifter down, cruise control, heated seats, amazing through the winter, heated grips, the screen moves up and down. For the money you're paying, you're getting a lot of tech. So as where some manufacturers you have to pay extra for anything, and some manufacturers you have to pay just for them to turn it on, even if it's already on the bike, which I think that's a bit of a con myself. If it's on the bike already, just turn it on. Like, don't charge someone, or just don't put it on the bike, make it cheaper. But that's just me. But yeah, like I say, it came with absolutely everything, absolutely stacked out. Overall, it's been actually an okay bike. Obviously, I am commuting on it every day. I am using it all year round through the winter. So, you know, the odd bit of rust here and there that's just starting to come through after a couple of winters, I sort of expect it, because the salt on the road through the winter, obviously I wash it down as best I can, but when you're riding it every day, you're not going to wash the bike every day. It just doesn't happen. You can't do that. So the general wear and tear of stuff, it's not been too bad. It's not been the best, it's not been the worst. I've seen bigger manufacturers have, like my Tracer, for instance, that went through 2 or 3 winters, and that was just as bad as this, if not worse, for the wear and tear and the rust coming through. So in that aspect, I think it's done pretty well. It's from the elements, it's done pretty good. Everything else, this bike's great. So the riding position, perfect. Comfort, perfect. Like I say, all the tech and all the goodies that come with it, perfect. Price, perfect. I have been let down by one big thing, and that is the reliability. I've had some issues with this bike, not loads, but they've been quite big. So, and like I say, the way it was handled was just really pants, to be honest. As someone that needs a bike to get to and from work, it just wasn't dealt with great. So at around 5,000 miles on my commute to work, in the absolute torrential rain, just left a Tesco near me. I'm riding to work, literally 3 miles up the road from the Tesco. And as I shifted from third to fourth, the bike just cut out. Oh God. Badger. Yeah, as I've come up the road, gone from third to fourth, pooting it out of the road, because obviously it's chucking it down with rain, bike cut out. And a bit confused, I was like, right, okay, that's a bit strange. Obviously I've pulled over as quick as I could, shut everything off, turned it all off, turned it all back on again, sat on the side of the road, tried to start it a few times, absolutely nothing. So, done a bit of troubleshooting myself, gone under the seat, checked all the fuses, checked everything I could check on the side of the road, nothing, can't find anything. So, you get breakdown cover through KTM, CFMOTO, called AA, come out, he said, I have no idea what's up with this bike, can't get it to start. Everything seems okay, so I don't really understand what it is, must be some sort of small sensor issue. Took it to the bike sanctuary for me, AA. Dropped it off and they said can't be anything massive, it'll just be maybe a sensor error issue or something small, we'll give you a ring, we'll have a look. Nothing that day. The next day I get a call, he said, oh, it's not looking good, we've had to sort of start stripping the bike down quite a lot, and I was like, right, yeah, it looks like you've got a cam issue, we're just gonna take the head off now and have a look. Obviously it's a 790 KTM engine in there, so the cams in them have had issues over the years. So I just thought perhaps it's worn, or I don't know, some sort of weird issue has happened. Got a phone call a couple of hours later. Oh, sorry mate, got really bad news. What? One of the camshafts is snapped. Sorry, what? One of the camshafts is snapped. Right, okay. Really confused as to how, since it was just a poodle to work. Couldn't really explain it. Well, it is what it is. I said, well, what's the crack now then? What do I do? What's the lead time on repair? What happens until then? Don't know. Parts on back order. Don't know. That's all I got. So I was like, okay. What about courtesy bike? Nah, definitely not. You're not having one of them. Why not? Don't do courtesy bikes, don't get one. Right, so I've got a brand new bike under warranty and I don't get a courtesy bike, so what's the point of the warranty? I could just, it makes no sense to me, so I'm just stuck about a bike. Yeah, sorry. Nothing we can do about it. So I was obviously a bit annoyed, went above Bike Sanctuary, went to CFMOTO, I went to KTM, and they basically said it's up to the dealership make that choice, not us. Obviously I was like, well, that's it then, I'm screwed, I haven't got a bike. A few weeks passed on between emails and phone calls, no lead time, nothing, didn't have a clue. Sort of 4 or 5 weeks in, I was like, no, I've had enough now. I've waited over a month, I've been bikeless, getting to and from work with lifts and friends and the other half, and I thought, no, I went to KTM and I said, what's the crack here, what's going on, what are we waiting for? Oh, the part's being shipped now, it will be there within sort of the next 4 or 5 working days. Awesome. 4 or 5 days passes, I get a notification from KTM, they said we'll give you the shipping for it so you know when it's been delivered and you can sort of find out what's going on. So after 6 weeks of the bike going in, the part went out, they got the part within 6 weeks at the Bike Sanctuary, and the bike still sat for another 3 weeks. And I know when they were working on my bike because I've got a tracker on my bike and it tells me what is where. So I've just finished work, so I'll carry on with the story. I didn't think it would take me this long, but clearly has. So yeah, bike tanked had the part for 3 weeks. The bike sat there 3 weeks, wasn't touched for ages. My missus went down there to just get an update, basically, see what was going on down there. So we got chatting to the head tech there, and he said, "Oh, I would have given him a courtesy bike if he didn't post on social media." Well, you could have just said that, and I wouldn't have posted your bike on social media. But you could have done it the other way. We could have used social media to promote you and promote the dealership, make the dealership look good. But yeah, no courtesy bike because you post on social media. And we've seen the way that you ride. Right, okay. And then, yeah, when I go to pick the bike up, he says, "Oh, we're going to get your bill." And I said, "What bill? I thought it was under warranty. Why have I got to pay for it?" He said, "Oh, we've had to change oil. Had to drop the oil to make sure it was all alright." I was like, "Well, yeah, obviously. You've had a major failure, so I should hope you have changed oil." Well, because you changed oil, you've got to pay for the replacement oil. I'll do it cheap for you, just £100. So why am I paying £100? You've had my bike for 9 weeks. I didn't obviously say, "Yeah, whatever, I need my bike back, so just take my £100. I'm not fighting it. Really not in the mood for it, can't be bothered, whatever." Took the bike, rode away. And then we had this problem with the dash, was the second problem. All around the edges came away, so it was letting water in the screen on the sides. Took I don't know, about a month for the part to come in from KTM or CFMOTO, wherever it came from. Took it into him, and he said, "Oh, we'll change it, give us a couple of hours." So went home, a couple of hours, got a phone call. "Oh, we've changed it for you, you can come pick it up, but we've had an issue." Right, okay, what's the issue? Well, we put the screen on, and we've made a bit of an error with the miles. The miles are wrong. Sorry, what do you mean? Well, we reset it to 10,000 miles when it was on, but we put it as 10,000 kilometres, so it's actually only got 6,000 miles on it. So I was like, "Well, I need that in writing because you've basically clocked my bike back, which it's not going to look great, and I want evidence of it." Which obviously they gave me in the end, but I was just like, so issue after issue. And we've had an issue from day one that apparently can never be fixed, is this little thing here which says it's -1 out here. It's currently probably close to the tyre temperature because I've just left work at 16. So I don't know where it's getting -1 from. That sensor's been broken for ages, just not repairable basically. So as I went to go and edit the video last night, that is when my microphone decided the battery would die. It's wireless. So I will carry that conversation on today. It's a lot colder out here today. Apparently it's -12. It's not, it's about 4 or 5 degrees. So, back to where I was. Went through the camshaft issue, went through the screen issue. Next issue, wheel bearing. So at about 10,000 miles, I had a wheel bearing absolutely disintegrate. So I got some tyres from Dunlop tyres. They fitted the front and rear, and when he fitted the front, he said to me, "The bearing's not looking great. It's not bad, it's not looking great. Change it as soon as you can." So I went online, ordered some bearings, 790 adventure bearings, same size, good find an CFMOTO one, so I just ordered the KTM ones, makes no difference. Went to go and change them, and as I knocked the right hand side out, this side, absolutely fine, came out easy peasy. Went to go and knock out this side, an absolute mess. So I knocked it out and it came out and it wasn't a bearing anymore, it was just 100 pieces of scrap metal that looked like this. And at 10,000 miles, I just didn't think that was a lot of miles for it to be chewed up like that. Obviously, I look after the bike as best I can. I've got to use it all the time, so I need to look after it. But with the wheel bearing up, when Dunlop Tyres changed it, I said to the bike dealership where I brought it, I said, they're saying the bearing doesn't look great. The bearing's covered under warranty, and they said, nah, it's wear and tear issue. All right, whatever. I mean, I don't really understand that, because if you're thinking stuff's going to wear out that quick, then I wouldn't call it wear and tear, but what do I know? So, yeah, quick little roundup. Good stuff. It is comfortable. It was cheap. The power's all right. Accessories come with it are really good. The electronics all seem to work really good. The bad stuff, the cam, the screen, the sensors, the wheel bearing, yeah. So my experience with the bike is so mixed. It's love and hate. It's two extremes. It's either very, very good or very, very bad. So the only factor I really had in buying the bike was I couldn't get insured on anything else at the time, so I had to buy it. But if someone gave me the choice now and said, in hindsight, if you know what's going to happen, what would you do if you had the choice? Obviously I didn't. Obviously I'd buy something else. I wouldn't buy this again. I'd gone with, I don't know, anything. I think if the customer service was better with how my problems were dealt with, I don't think I'd be as upset. I've had friends with issues with other brands of bike, including BMW, including KTM, and problems were just solved a lot better. The customer service was there. You felt like you were looked after. You were given a free service. You were given a courtesy bike. You know, they were super apologetic, not just, well, it's done when it's done and you just have to deal with it. That doesn't sell it for me. Like, why would you buy from that brand again if that's the attitude you're gonna get? But now I'm 2 years no claims again, and I can get uninsured and stuff. I am looking at new bikes. I'll get the winter out of the way and get this through the winter. Not much point buying a new bike now at sort of end of September time. Not much point at start of October. It's just going to be straight into a winter, getting trashed, so I might as well just wait till next year. And then I'm really on the fence whether to have one bike, two bikes, commuter and a sort of weekend bike with the boys, so I'm not too sure what to do. I'll buy one bike and that's an all-rounder, just because it's easier to have one bike with tax and MOTs and insurance and all that sort of nonsense. But I am looking at an Africa Twin. Yeah, and I really like the Triumph 1200 Adventure Explorer, the one with the big tank. I think I'm going to go big adventure if I do get one. Again, BMW 1300 GS, but it's a bit out of my price range, I'm not going to lie, for a bike. So yeah, that's it. CFMOTO, 2 years, nearly 20,000 miles. That's my thoughts on it, my experiences. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Let's end it with a little hop over the bridge. Whee! And with that, I'll love you, leave you. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.